Welcome to our broadcast. We have with us the heart light and the marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. These are symbols that we use in our Cofederation ceremony every day, and we'll do the entire ceremony. I want to draw your attention very quickly today because at this time on Sundays we do a conference that is devoted especially to our family and extended family and neighbors, and we're going to continue to expand that outreach. On the simple, really marvelous situation now of how easy it is to not have to be reliant on dirty forms of energy, but you can go solar so quickly by putting solar panels on your roof or on a shared area of your neighborhood, and in every building. And also, we can also use wind power, which is equally excellent and really should be paired with solar. These are both excellent and renewable forms of energy generation that do not have any significant waste and do not pollute the environment and do not threaten future generations with global warming and Fukushima events. So this is really so easy to do now. And the tragedy of what is occurring is that our media is not telling this story. And it hasn't been telling this story all the while. Germany got to be 50% solar, and the city of Freiburg got to be 100% solar. And I try to reach out, but I'm not reaching out in the way of authority anymore. It either has to be in a shared way or we don't have the reach out successful. I don't want to reinforce domination in any household. So let's see if we can get through to somebody where our conference line is generally open. I'm going to get off of it for just a second and see if we can actually reach somebody. Am I reaching anybody? Not getting through. Well, what it seems to be going on to me is that we have a lot of people who cannot let go of the old way on our earth. They want top-down authority figures, and they are willing to play up to that in their workplaces and in their houses of worship instead of thinking and loving for themselves. We do not have an authenticity occurring in our culture. We have a lot of people passing the buck, literally, because they get paid pretty inferior salaries, and then they give it right back to the overly accumulatedly wealthy. and they're passing the buck away from themselves all the time. And I stay here with my umbrella, waiting for people to come underneath, and most of the time nobody comes. And I find it remarkable. It seems like people are just so willing to go over the cliff in the wrong direction that they can't take the time or the moment to look up from what they're doing and move in the right direction. So this is very difficult for me, and I don't like to not reach out to people who I know could benefit from this, but I've done a lot of outreach. And I know that people who know about this are not showing up. So I'm going to put the conference line back on and see if anybody does show up. All right, well, if anybody comes on, we'll hear them. They know this is happening. They've known it for weeks. And they know I have good information to help their communities go solar and solar, to recognize the equality of female and male and of young and old, older, and younger and older, because it's all on a continuum. And so far, I'm not getting many takers here, and I know why. Because I rose late in my life. I didn't understand how patriarchy is interwoven in every aspect of society and how that really affects the emotions of people and makes them small and petty and aggressive and stupid and unloving. It really does. And that's what we're seeing around us. We're seeing an enormous amount of bullying in our culture. We're seeing a lot of friction and tension among nations and rebellious groups within nations because the people that are so-called ruling do not do so properly. And so it goes on and on and on. This is our story. It's a mess on this planet. And why is it? Because people are practicing patriarchy without recognizing that that's what they're doing. I love my family, and I've been giving very kindly lots of spoonfuls of sugar to them, my family and community. And what I notice is every time I give them a spoonful of sugar, they say, "Oh, doesn't taste right. It's not perfect for me. It doesn't fit my worldview. It's not exactly right." And what do they hold on to then? What do? They go pay their bills to big companies that they know are cheating them. They go vote for politicians that they know are corrupt. And they go and go and go and go on and on and on and on, not voicing one complaint, or occasionally maybe one or two, toward those people. But every time an intelligent woman stands up and says, "Why don't we just go solar? Why don't we have democracy?" They just say, "Well, we're not ready for that." So it goes on and on and on and on. People seem to want to abuse themselves and one another. That's what I'm getting out of this. They're so caught in the dance, they don't know how to stop it. I'm right here. I want you to come. I hope the molecules of the air carry this to your ears. You certainly should know it. And I'm going to make some additional calls on a phone tree that I have set up so that people can get their messages. Now, I'm going to make this a very brief conference today. Started at 12:45 Eastern Time. We're only going to make it go for maybe 45 minutes. And then we're going to, maybe not even that. Just go to 5050now.wordpress.com. Scroll down, and now let me just say, I'll do this very quickly, and then we'll do our video blessing, which is a life blessing. Video means the life of the God within you. Okay, if you go to 5050now.wordpress.com and scroll to Renewable Solar Energies, Mariam Marshall Plan, Manhattan 11, Aurora Apollo Project, and then right underneath there, you'll see solar links and resources. I don't have it on screen share, so let me do that again. Okay, now you can see it on the website. And we scroll down, and there renewable solar resources. This has been distributed to people that I grew up with, my closest family, people that know me from childhood and we know each other, and from youth, generations of youth. And I'll show you their pictures in a minute, in a moment. And there you see re-evolution and a little stepwise process. And we've got 4 steps. Gather with 3 women and 1 young man under 37. Make sure everyone is familiar with the links that are below here and knows how to print out and pass out consciousness currencies with instructions how to go solar on the back. Contact solar installers, or if you have handy people in your neighborhood, do-it-yourselfers who can put together the solar panels. That's not so difficult, but it is somewhat difficult. And so the installers are the way to go quickly, and for most people, the easiest way to go. And then when you've done that, let the installers do their work. Within a few weeks, your whole neighborhood, your whole region will be solar. Like Freiburg, Germany is 100% solar. Then have a neighborhood or building potluck party. Have a meeting according to the new Millennial Golden Rule, which is what we are doing, is a government of all women for 9 months, and also including young people, female and male, under age 37. That is the decision-making group. The older men simply watch and applaud for 9 months. Then after 9 months, we move to 50-50 in every neighborhood on Earth. And you can read about the new Millennial Golden Rule at 5050now.wordpress.com, this website, and also use of the Genuine Progress Indicator, which counts unpaid work, the true labors of love that everybody does, 2/3 done by women, 1/3 done by men, and that is not counted in our current economic system, and the stewardship of the environment and of the social environment and the natural environment, according to the Genuine Progress Indicator already used in Maryland, and the use of the circle process, which we're already going to be engaging, you see, in this method, to bring the families and communities together without bullying, with healing, learning new things. And this can be done at a community commons building. You can use currently a library near you, but you can also transform a house or a couple of houses into a community commons, and or use existing community centers in your area and help them go solar too. And then you can or do it in a school, in a school auditorium. It'll be just fine. And if that doesn't work, I know we have a lot of things, misuse of school auditoriums going right now, where I'm seeing some inauguration celebrations for people who were never elected in some of our school auditoriums. We're going to be dealing with that this week. I ask you to pray for the children that I'm about to do the video blessing for, but you can see all these links, and we have a section here on how to go solar, a nice video from the Community Power Network. Then we have a section on world resources, special section on women and solar links, very important. A special section on youth and solar, very important, youth, female and male. The German success story. Homeless shelters, how they can go solar in a blink of an eye. Apartment and let the last shall be first. The apartments and community condominiums that can very easily go solar, how that's occurring now all over the place. And schools and colleges, dormitories, universities can quickly go solar overnight. It can happen overnight. And don't worry about the law and the law enforcement. If the thugs try to stop this, they're going to be so unpopular with their neighborhood that it won't work. So don't worry about it. The police will back off. They're going to want to put solar power on their police station too. Worship and community centers. And we also have a section on community and resilience, gardening, and permaculture. I need to capitalize that or bold that. And there's a little bit of links here for transition towns resources. The transition towns are all over the world. It's a really marvelous movement of kinship, and we want to draw your attention to what they're already doing, because this is very much dovetailing with what they have going on. The only difference is the transition town movement hasn't quite figured out that some of their local authorities are not truly authorities at all, because they're owned and puppeted by the 1%. And only the actual neighborhood people, the grassroots people, can be the true government right now, according to our plan. And you can also see there's some additional links and sister and related websites and forums. And this is all on the website. And we have shared this information with children and grandchildren of these people, and who are on this picture. Some of them are great and granddaughters and grandson, and his young woman friend, and we love them with all our heart, and they know this is happening, and this is happening in their name, and I am intercessorily praying for them, because I think that one of the things that people need to learn is that when mama puts out a meal, mama should not have to, every time she puts out a meal, round up her family and drag them to the table and say, with or without your daddy here, I put out the meal, please eat. Because some of our daddies are making our children wait too long, and they're not there present enough. And so mother just has to do it temporarily until the dads figure out their importance to their children. They have to put out intellectual and spiritual and emotional healing and resources like this, whether or not the older daddies are ready to approve of it. And now some of the older daddies really are. There's a lot of older men, interestingly, in the solar industry. These are the flower children of the last generation. These men are the children who didn't buy into the authoritarian structures. And they have very often been living off-grid, and they're inventors, and they care very much about the resiliency of their community and about Mother Nature. And they are the exception to our rule about not having older men, but we ask those men to come in the first 9 months as just resources and advisors, not as the actual decision makers, because the women and the youth really do need to catch up with several thousand years of exclusion, and especially in North America, several hundred years of being excluded from the table when decisions are made. So that's what we're doing. And these are the people that we have sent it to today, some of them. Okay, and you should be able to see that here. Okay, and again, here's our past generations. Okay, and our current generations. And this is just a small group within a much larger circle. And of course, your circles are all related to all these people. We're all related. Why is nobody coming to this? I don't know. Should I call the person who is most against this? The persons who are stonewalling it? I think I have to let them decide to come. And I think I have to let them decide. I think I have to let the universe give them whatever feedback is going to be given to them for not coming. And I think I'm begging the universe to make sure that that feedback is not fatal. Because I know that some of these people are dancing on the edge of their own karma. And I don't want to be lacking in compassion toward them, but my belief is that some of the people who need to be coming to these kind of conferences are so far down the wrong road that the best way to get them to come back is to not run after them, but for them left to find out what is at the end of that road that they have picked, which is trouble. Trouble is at the end of that road, and let's make that end a new beginning and a turnaround point to go to the new road. That's what I am praying to the Mother, Father, Goddess, God, and I don't know if the Mother, Father, Goddess, God is listening to me. I only can beg my Mother, Father, Goddess, God, and with my Mother, Father, Goddess, God, and say to them, this is my best choice, because running after people who are running away from you tends to push them further away. And going only through one door, which is an authoritarian door, and a door that has hate marked on it, is not the right door. So I have to wait for people to come and change their door and mark it love. And open their door and open this door, which is about as easy as could be, because all you have to do is pick up the phone and dial a number, and you'll hear this broadcast. And these people already have the number. I'm not going to give it out widely today because I want to make this kind of a simpler broadcast, but well, maybe I should. I'll give it. It's 213-416-1560. Access code 877-907-160. If anybody is listening to our broadcast today, we have brought light to the world. Democracy is common sense. Anything that is so primitive that only old men wind up ruling in it shows that the old men are not being very loving to their women. And it's also showing that the women are not being very loving to one another, because that can only happen in both those ways. That the men are not paying attention to women. It's what George Carlin said. He said, women are crazy and men are stupid. And the way he put it was, women are crazy because men are stupid. And what he meant was that men don't seem to notice how much they put upon on women, how much they rely on women without crediting them, and don't pay enough attention to what they do with their children and how important that is. And the women eventually, over time, develop a very strange kind of weird self-esteem. Their self-esteem becomes born of pleasing daddy figures, some of them, or mother figures who tell them to please daddy figures. And the women lose their own self-esteem. They don't regard their own ideas as important. They live entirely through men, usually older brothers and their families. And they lose their own genius. They literally fritter it away. And so the world remains in darkness because of that. And it also depletes the genius of the younger people, female and male, who are generally a little bit closer to their mothers. And so the situation goes on and on and on. And this is what we are asking for the world to change today. And I am hoping, I know that there's a person who knows this broadcast is being addressed. Well, there's many people who know this broadcast is being addressed to them. So the reason they're not here is not that I don't want to chase after them. I might try one. Let's see if we can get one on the line. I'll leave her private and see if we can get her on the line. Maybe she'll start the change in the right direction. We're on the air. Would you like to join us? The whole world is watching. She's not ready. Nope. Another one runs away. We're going to reveal who these people are pretty soon. All right. Well, we're going to wait on her. No, we'll try this again, but we're going to wait. We made the outreach. We'll try again tomorrow. I'm not going to take the route of going people who I already know are frightened and running away. They have to move voluntarily toward this. I can see. We'll just do the video blessing in all their names. As Cofederation, giving thanks every day to the Mother, Father, Goddess, God, in all creation, including us. Here again is our spring golden autumnal ceremony. Again, new greetings for a special circle of circles. You are important to one another, to our world, and to the Mother, Father, Goddess, God. You have been and are first co-first in our heart, mind, body, and spirit. The light is on in all our hearts, but it is very dim in some because it is very dim in our culture. And that has to change. We know all hearts will be brighter very soon because all are being co-drafted now to save one another, all people in our planet. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. And it's spring in the southern hemisphere and more planets, and always must become so and be so in our hearts in every season. Hugs and love to all, both in each, and as soon as possible, everyone. We are giving thanks and praying to the Mother, Father, Goddess, God for all of you. We really are. But I don't know if prayer is enough. I've thought about doing more outreach, but I've resulted, as you just saw, in a no answer. I think these people will only come if they hear someone else already on the line, other than me. They are that much followers. They need somebody else other than me, someone else other than a mother figure. I don't know what they need. I don't know why they need so much. I have my thoughts about why people are so dependent on being led instead of thinking for themselves, but I'm not quite sure it explains everything. I think about it. We are giving thanks and praying to the Mother, Father, Goddess, God for all of you as our Kazina sisters and young Kazina sisters and young cousin brothers. First go first every day, and all people and all of planet Earth. We have with us the milk of human kindness for all, both, and each and everyone. We sip to represent all, both, and each and everyone. We have with us the water of loving, living planets, which we must sustain our Earth to be, in a glass that shows the sun, our star, and our moon, and stars of our galaxy and solar system, our lunar, solar, lunar, planetary system, and the entire universe, the cosmos of Gaia, Australia, the living planets in the light of love, of the Mother Creator as much as Father aspects of the universe, the Eloha as much as the Elohim, even more so in some ways according to more of our ancient myths. And we drink to represent all, both, and each, and as soon as possible, everyone. And I should mention we have some sweet little friends here that are also attending this. I'll introduce them in a little bit. Oh, and I need to bring some other of our parts of our ceremony. Bear with me, I'll be back in 5 minutes. We have with us the fresh fruits of the earth in a glass bowl for the clarity of our vision that reminds us that humanity is rainbow colored in its hues, as is light. And also in the bowl are white wrapped in gold chocolates to symbolize the new millennial golden rule that will bring us a very sweet world, which is ironic because a person whose name is Sweet can't figure out how to get here. We'll be working on that. A couple of them. And world globe chocolates to symbolize not only our world, but the future worlds that we, excuse me, the worlds of our future that we can enjoy in contact together. and reclaim our understanding of space-time as a continuum. Past becomes future, future becomes past. It is all interrelated. And so let's start fresh in this new millennia now. And we have with us some cakes. We have with us the rainbow cake and the new millennial golden rule cake, and we'll celebrate and re-celebrate all birthdays and holy days. Those that came before, our current present year, and the coming year and years. And we'll gather together and celebrate all birthdays and holy days together. And we'll wait no longer. And we'll co-love, co-live, co-enlighten, co-grow, co-heal, co-learn, and co-lead together. We represent all the great and grandmothers and their sister Kazinas and all of their children, female and male, while they were under age 37. And we also include the great and grandpas, the fathers, who understand the need for this change, and through me, of those of the past, by my intercession, until all join us in shared delivery, co-delivery, as co-Sevirah, cosmic Christs, return to the circle of our universe, and an understanding that life is not linear, it is circular. And therefore, share with me this delivery, co-delivery, as co-Sevirah with you, and me and more. All as Kazina sisters and cousin brothers, or she kin and he, she kind and he kind, Aloha and Elohim. All join us, and all who have figured out or will quickly figure out with me and more, all are precious value. All mistakes can be forgiven. Everyone just needs to wake up now, and retroactively via apology, shared mutual apology. I've already given several, and I intend to give more. But I need also to be apologized to, because like everyone in a patriarchal society, people have wronged me, and they know they have. And I made mistakes toward other people without recognizing it, because patriarchy induces that. So we need to go back and look back as we start this new millennial year. This is still the month of New Year's. And it is a good time to make these resolutions of a solar world. And All mistakes can be forgiven, and everyone just needs to wake up now, 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 so they don't suffer, be sick, or die needlessly, or cause terrible problems for themselves or one another or anyone, and the extinction of our planet. And rediscover love power with light, love power for life, with enlightenment that you and we all have and share. I and will come to visit you, and you'll come to visit me and more very soon. I've been coming by virtue of email. So far, very little response, but I've been coming. And you'll all come to visit me very soon, and we'll gather together. The kitty cats are purring highs and hugs to all, both and each. Our kitty cats that are nearby are, and they're all of one family of kitty cats on Earth. Donny Aurora Feliz and Maria Rainbow Sweetheart. Maria Rainbow Sweetheart, Donny Aurora Feliz. Nearby are Whiskers and Tiger and Buttermilk. And we have in mind Blackie and Felix and Holly. And there's more, many more. And all of the little animals, our puppies, our creatures of all kinds that we have as pets in homes, and outside, outdoors, our little squirrels and chipmunks, the birds. These are beautiful, magnificent creatures that took millions of years to evolve. And we must sustain their lives and all the flora and fauna of our planet. All of the grasses, all of the trees, and all the flowers, the beautiful flowers, the marvelous, miraculous flowers. So we have all of this as part of the ceremony. You can just look outside the window and you'll see some of it. And it's your window too. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, because the new millennial golden rule makes the golden rule easy to go down and digest, and to make the way of the world and sprinkle like sugar, like fairy dust, that brings alive all out of this terrible death machine that patriarchy has created for us. We're going to come out of that, and we're going to live and be beautiful and marvelous and miraculous on this and all planets. Namaste, Bahava, L'chaim, Shalom, Mir, Pache, Mitakuye, Oyasin. Mariam, Sophia, Christmas, Estaras, Happy New Year's, including Madronit and Lantern Ceremony and Rosh Chodesh and all of the holidays, and Valentine's especially. Well, a Valentine's of sisterhood and brotherhood, as well as couplehood, romantic couplehood. Loving, living, peace, culture, and every blessing in all languages. And we have another broadcast today, we expect, in the early evening, late afternoon, early evening, and again in the evening. And we hope that we can figure out how to get more of our family to come. And you're all our family. Everybody on Earth is at most just 50 cousines and cousins from everyone else. Cousines, you're particularly important, and youth under age 37, but all are welcome to listen and to give comments and to enjoy this with us. I am the first but not last or only cosmic Christ of the planet Earth. I am essentially the character of Star Trek, T'Pau, come to life. I'm the true Q. I'm the true Q that was also in the Star Trek series. I'm introducing the Q continuum. I am introducing eternal life in youth, the fountain of youth, and the opening of the stargates via divine democracy. Divine democracy, I am the living embodiment not only of Mariama of Magdala and Jesus of Nazareth's first cousin, Rachel, but also I am, and that was Mariam of Nazareth's niece, but I am also the living embodiment of the risen high priestess of Astra Ray, the goddess of the Statue of Liberty. I carry the solar crown I wear the solar crown as my hat, as my milliner grandmother and mother who were milliners made, to know that women wear crowns and that we have them on whether or not we're wearing the hat. But I just do this as remembrance and an honor to those who came before me and all their neighborhood women and all the women of every neighborhood on earth and all their youth, female and male, under age 37, and then all their men, appreciating them as full equals now, retroactively, and for all the future. More broadcasts later today. Every blessing. And namaste.